Well, hi, welcome to this week's episode of Handmade House TV. I'm Noah Bradley, and today I'd like to share with you a bit about this little log cabin that I've been building. So stay tuned. As you can see, it is a small log cabin. It only measures 5 feet by 8 feet. And all the logs came off of my property that I had sawn up with a bandsaw mill. If you remember a previous episode, you saw that sawmill come in and make flat logs for me. And I've left the natural contours on the top and the bottom, much as a traditional log cabin. Also in the corners, you'll notice that I did dovetail notches, which are half dovetail to be exact, and they are my favorite notch and easy to do. When we view a log cabin, particularly from the end, going up and down, they look so complicated. They look like a complex zipper that no one could do. And in fact, this is a sales technique that a lot of people in the button pass community or the log cabin kit community will promote a fear that it's obviously that no one could make something as complex as a dovetail notch. It's not for the average man. But the fact is that a lot of farmers did the half dovetail with no problem. And the secret behind dovetail of realizing its simplicity and how easy it is to do is to break it apart. Rather than looking at the entire row of dovetail notches all lined up in a row, we view them one at a time. In fact, it's smart to view them a half at a time. And that is that every log on a half dovetail has a slope pitched on the top of the log. You slope it always so that any water that were to find its way on the dovetail would find its way outside. So each end of every log has a sloped pitch on it, and then it's just a matter of the log that sets upon it is you set it upon it and you copy it so that notch, that log above, will set down properly on that slope pitch. And that's all there is to a half dovetail. Create a slope pitched that goes to the outside, and then what I call a bird's mouth that comes down and sets upon it with the next log. And then you repeat that process. The next log above it, you would do a slope pitch. And then I'll show you this, but let me move the camera back. So on this notch here, you can see that I have the slope pitch on the log sloping to the outside, and I've set the log above it in place so that I can properly mark it, and I can transfer the bird's mouth, onto this one, then cut it out, and then this log will properly set down into it. One thing I'd like to point out to you is the top 2 logs here that I now have in position in order to mark and set into place. And the 2 logs there were actually setting on top of each other, flat, one upon the other, for the last week. And during that period, I had received one rain, which water found its way between those 2 logs. And I just wanted to point out to you the mold and the mildew that happened to acquire in that short of a period of time, and how there's not a drop, there's not a speck anywhere on the entire log cabin of that same mold and mildew. And it's a great example, in my opinion, of the traditional method of log cabin construction, where air can get around the logs and circulate, and mold and mildew will not happen. Whereas when a log sits on top of a log, mildew happens. So here we have the log that's been in place now for a few days, for a week or so, and here we have the log above it that was setting one on top of the other flat, and you can clearly see the difference, how fresh, unexposed this is. Yet it's been out in the rain just as much as this log above that was touching another log, where sunlight could not reach it, where air could not circulate around it. And you can definitely see there's definitely a difference. The one above it looks more moist. This one looks more dry. And you can see on it, and I'm hoping you can see in the camera, but anyway, there's all kinds of black mold coming in, and there's also a green layer as well. And I thought maybe I'd try to see if I can scrape up some of this. Oh, good God. It's definitely coming across. I don't know if the camera can get that or not, but it's definitely green, green slimy stuff. It's not the stuff that you would want within your home. It's not the stuff that you'd want to be breathing. It's not the stuff you'd want on your log, because this is the first process in a log decomposing. And here's the interior of the cabin, just a peek inside. Let me show you a picture of what I envision the future use of my little log cabin to be. Now you can choose to build a little log cabin such as this and use it for an outbuilding or a playhouse, but regardless, you'll gain the confidence you need and the skills you'll need in order to move forward in building your own log home. Well, all right, that's it for today's episode of Handmade House TV. Thank you so much for joining me. Each and every one of you mean a whole lot to me. I so appreciate those comments and the emails that I get. If I can help you achieve the home of your dreams, I sure want to do that. I believe that you can achieve that home. You just need to discover it, design it, and then move forward on it and never quit. Get started, never quit. Okay, until next week, we'll see you then. Bye now.